I'd say we're still evolving, but we have a pretty good idea of who we are and what we're trying to be. Um, I think the more that this team is together and is in, tougher matches and longer matches, we figure ourselves out. And so going in the second half of conference, I like where we're at.
What challenges does Kansas State pose, and what's it going to take for y'all? What are the keys to beating them?
Yeah, they balanced offense, but they have a true go-to, one of the better attackers in the Big 12. So when they really need a point, they feel pretty good about who they're giving the ball to. So for us, it's about containing and then not letting one of their other players just have a big night. And then for us, it still goes back to how we're serving and passing and following the game plan. And we've kept things pretty simple for the most part and just kind of let them do their thing. And when we're following that game plan, we have pretty good success.
Has anyone stepped up on your team that's kind of maybe surprised you this season so far, or just been a leader throughout?
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of leaders. This team has a lot of seniors, and so we have a lot of experience. And this team doesn't need a lot from each other. It's not like a young team that has to be guided through some things. So this group has been pretty good about working together and being able to lean on each other as needed. And we have a lot of players that are experienced, that have a voice and kind of know how to work with each other. So that part has been pretty easy. But as far as surprises, I feel like our ball control has been the best surprise, and it really shouldn't be called a surprise, but we've had so many new players step in, and there was so much turnover from last year to this year that there was just some question marks, and they've really answered.
And then for either of you, what kind of goals do you guys still have left that you're wanting to meet for the rest of the season? I'm gonna go one at a time.
Yeah, I'll go. I think what's really exciting about this team is we haven't peaked yet, and we're continuing to grow through practices and throughout these games. And so I think just going into the second half of Big 12 is going to be really exciting. I'm excited for this team to get a lot of wins under their belt and just show up and play our best.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with Audrey's huddle. Just we could have won every game that we played, and it's really exciting to see us move throughout the second half and seeing what we can bring to TCU, Kansas State, West Virginia, and Texas. So I think we have a good shot with winning. So.
Coach, what were some of the things you guys worked on during your off week to get you guys prepared for what's coming up?
First of all, we want to build in a lot of recovery and get them some rest. We were one of the last teams in the Big 12 that had an off weekend, and so we'd had a pretty good stretch where we were playing, and we've been playing all these five setters, and so we needed some downtime. And so I felt good about building that in, but right now it's still about defensively what we're doing and how we're reading plays and just getting ahead of things, and then what happens when we're out of system or when the other team is out of system. So there's two or three things that I think the team would agree that we hit pretty much every day, and we're never quite feeling great about it. So it's going to be a training point throughout the rest of the season.
I realize it was 2 weeks ago, but what did your girls take away from the wins at Oklahoma?
Oh, it was pretty similar to the other weekends. We felt like we let one get away, but then the recovery the next day and how we played was really good. That second match against OU was probably one of our better offensive matches of the season. And so it was just nice to see them kind of look at themselves and say, yeah, we didn't play our best. We didn't come up big in moments where we should have. And then they come back the next day and they nailed it.
Does that show some resiliency in this team that maybe different from years past, where a first match loss would then cause the next two to go, and then you're leaving early in the match, and these girls are fighting back?
Yeah, I think that's changed over the last few years, but we still know what that's like, and each team that we play, the matchups are different, and you just come back to these one or two moments where you're like, yeah, if we would have just taken care of this one point or this one little section, we would have been in good shape. It's we're playing 5 and losing by 2. It's not like we played terribly for the whole match. We're right there, and so I think that's where the team looks at themselves and they just see that they're really in the same level as just about everybody else. Instead of hoping that they get something going on a given night, we're going in expecting big things. So I think that also speaks to the quality of the conference. It's just road wins are tough, and you get into a 5-setter and you never know what's going to happen.
How important would wins over Kansas State be for staying in the Big 12, getting above them, getting in the top half of the conference?
Yeah, that's obvious critical, and we feel like we should be in the top half of the Big 12. We feel like that's what this team has been built for, and that means we've got to go out and get some more wins. And so we're 3-5. Like Tatum said, I think we could easily be 6-2, 7-1. I mean, we're really in a good spot that way. And so the second half, hopefully, we've learned how to finish those close ones out, and we'll have a pretty good second half.
I know that we're halfway through the season, but what do you think about the schedule the way it has been the last 2 years, where it's been back-to-back same opponent on the same week? Is that something you would like to see going forward, or are you ready to see it change in the future?
No, I'm ready for it to go back, but I will tell you that I like the prep, having a week to get ready for a team and not having 2 days and then we play and then 2 days and we play. That part of the prep I like, but then when we actually play the same team 2 days in a row, I'm not crazy about it. I just think that you catch a team on a given weekend, or you're missing a player, or they are, and you don't get a chance later on to see what everybody's like. I think it is different. I get why we're doing it, and I'm fine with it, but I think we're all ready to go back to normal scheduling.
For both or either of you girls, how nice was it to have kind of a week off to, I guess, regroup and just reset for the rest of the season?
Yeah, I'd say recovery during season is really nice and important, just physically, mentally. So that was really nice. But I think we've also been training well this week, and we're excited to get back into competition against Kansas State.
Yeah, going off of Audrey's huddle, this week was actually pretty competitive, and I think we got a lot better during this week. So I think it was really beneficial to us.
She just mentioned a reset for you guys. I mean, going into this game, do you think a win in this series could kind of, basically set the tone for the rest of the year, kind of how where this break was for you guys? Or?
Yeah, I mean, I think with the team, we're going into every weekend and every match. We're expecting to win just like they are. Whoever we're playing is expecting against us. I think there's truly this sense that, we're right there, and we do our part and take care of our side of the net, then good things are going to happen. And so, but yeah, we get into the second half and we've had a bye week. Yeah, you're ready to get back at it. So yesterday was a good competitive workout, and I know today will be too. And then we'll get on the road and get after it. But yeah, we want to get off to a good start second half.
And I don't know if this was asked before I got here, but was there anything in particular about Kansas State that stood out to you guys? I mean, the two teams with similar records so far. Is there something that they're doing that you see, similar to your team?
Yeah, I mean, we're pretty familiar with them, and vice versa. They didn't have a ton of turnover from last year to this year. Pretty established who their attackers are and where they're going to give a ball. And but they do have a good balanced offense. They've got players that can really do it from anywhere. So, we're going to have to serve tough and play good defense.
So right now there's about 5 teams, I think, tied for 4th in the Big 12. So one, what does that say about kind of the level this conference is at and how everybody's coming and beating up on each other? And 2, then what does that mean about these next few matches going forward?
Yeah, we've talked a lot about the parity of the conference this year and how strong it is, and that's playing out. And I think that when it's all said and done, 8-8 is going to look really, really good for whoever can get there. And so the conference standings are just going to be a mess for a while. It's going to take a while to get things sorted out. So every win is a good win, and you're just trying to get as many as you can wherever you can. And but I do think we've played a really tough schedule up to this point, and so like we said, we're pretty happy with where we're at and what we can look forward to.